Welcome to a special cut of Subject to Change about proof, beauty, and our future with Majora Carter.
Hey.
God, there she
No,
is.
hello there. And hi, Lauren.
Hi, it's so nice to meet you.
You too.
Oh my God, that's great.
Is that
You
a
look
puppy?
amazing.
Wait, where's mine? Okay, I can see the back of your puppy. I gotta show you mine.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Okay. So this one's actually not my puppy, but we're babysitting. This is
Look.
we've got to say hello. Oh, look, it's like your little, is that a boy or girl?
Boy, yeah.
That's my puppy.
This is Niall. My niece went away, and so we're babysitting her. This is my favorite puppy, even though I've got two very large ones, but he's much bigger.
It is so good to see you.
I know. It's been like, gosh,
a long time.
When did I roll off the board?
You know what? I don't even remember that. We'd love it if you'd take a moment to like, comment, or subscribe. That helps us to reach other people and to share these great conversations. Thank you. Let's hear about Majora's TED Talks.
So it really is. It's so nice to see you both. And Lauren, did we ever meet?
Never. I have only seen you on TED Talks.
Oh, okay. There'll be another one coming out. I just did. So TED happened this Monday. Yeah, it was this week, and I did my second TED Talk.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
very cool.
It's gonna be exciting.
How long does it take it to come out? Like when will they?
Well, now that it's like a well-oiled machine, the TED structure. I mean, it's just because the first time I did it, it was so crazy. It was just, they told you, so you've got 18 minutes. They didn't really ask what your talk was about. Like, you didn't work with anybody to review it. You literally went the day before so that they could see your slides and make sure that they worked. And that was it. And then you showed up the next day and talk. This time it was literally like 3 months of prep with like a coach and, a wardrobe person. And it was just like, oh my God, they were both nerve wracking, but this was nerve wracking with like a bunch of people around, which I wasn't used to. But anyway, life goes on. I'm glad it's over. I can't even tell you how happy I am. Oh my God.
So can we ask was it about your book or about community revitalization?
No. It was actually about, I was in a session with different takes on capitalism.
Oh, nice.
So there was a libertarian and there was a communist. And my thing was like, look, I've embraced my inner capitalist and, bigger, smarter people than I have tried to dismantle it. So I'm not going to try. And, bottom line is, I think it's a tool. And it can be used for good or for bad. And it probably wouldn't be so bad if it was more evenly applied and weren't so racist.
Absolutely.
And that was that.
The team, pluses and minuses.
So it was kind of I think it was well received. And I'm happy that it's over.
No, I understand that, especially from the sound of that prep. Sometimes I fancy myself to be a team player, but sometimes I'm really annoyed by the team.
Yes. I know.
I just want to get it done.
Yeah. I mean, I get I remember you, Jody. Like talking about like, and Lauren, if you're like in the same, space, I think a headspace, it's like marching to the beat of your own drummer often definitely can come at a cost, but it's worth it if you ask me.
Oh, I applaud that tremendously. B Corp, just ESG. Oh my.
It's true. What cracks me up, whether it's standards like B Corp, whatever, it's just like because we were not to slag on the B Corp, thing or anything, because I think it is useful to identify your yourself and to go through the process of all that. But I mean, I just realized somewhere along the way, probably I think the second time, I was spending days going through this the recertification process, and I'm like, I'm spending days going through this process, and me going through this process doesn't determine how sustainable I've been and will be.
Right.
And I don't So, and then I stopped being a B Corp because I didn't have the time. And, and it was meant, I think, for, companies that really had something to prove, where it's like, I got nothing to prove. I know exactly who I am. And, and, if you've been watching me, you know exactly that too.
Yeah, actually, that's a really good point. I'm having the same struggle. I work for an architecture and engineering firm now, and there's a lot of time, as there was a lot of time in state government, based on the data and the energy model and figuring out how much we've saved. And very rarely is there time spent on taking that data, communicating it to the people doing the work in a way that helps them to change their processes. Sometimes you get bogged down in the proof.
And I do think it's important to like reevaluate just to make sure that you're hitting those marks. Like that is super important, but I don't know. I just feel like making it really difficult for people to participate.
Yeah.
I just think it's the purpose.
Yeah, so. I would agree with that. It's I'm sorry, Lauren, did I stop you from asking a question?
I was gonna say I'm a one-woman show. I run my own business, and it's a design and sustainability consulting business. And I barely have time to scrape together my tax information.
Yeah.
Let alone like apply for something like this. So
right.
For me, it's just not, it wouldn't be a process I can do at the moment, even if I wanted to.
Yep. Understood.
Yeah. Now, if there's like if there's a community, if there's a gathering of smaller businesses that can aggregate their understanding of that system and use it to create their own internal education processes and to support each other in the work, that's pretty cool, but maybe not going through, especially the costly process.
Right.
That sounds like a neat take on a co-working space, Jody.
Yeah, kind of co-working for equity.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. But it's really about beauty or lack of beauty.
Like people want to be appreciated, and that shows in the surroundings that people try to put around themselves. It's why it's like, the architecture and the infrastructure in low status communities, in some cases they're considered, I think, talent repulsing. It's like, do people want to be in places where, they know that they're the poster child for urban blight? Or that, they know that, the only reason why you're staying is because you can't go anyplace else. So it's just like, no, that's not a nice way to be human. And there's no reason for it. I mean, there's enough to go around.
Architecture matters.
It's so funny. But one of our projects, a former rail station that was designed by Cass Gilbert, Gilbert building, the U.S. Supreme Court building, super exciting. We're just nominated to be on the National Register for Historic Places, which is super cool, very exciting. And it was interesting because a bunch of public housing, projects in New York City were on that list, and it's got a really not a pleasant history, in particular around race. But to hear the way they were talked about was like, are we talking about the public housing projects that I literally was like, my parents were like, you will not go anywhere near them ever, because we love you, and just like, and I feel bad for anybody that's there, but you ain't going, that kind of thing. It was really interesting, the kind of like almost revisionist history that was going on there, as if they were, it was very strange. It was very strange.
Well, it's so those buildings have gotten to an age, 50 years or older, that they're considered a moment in architectural history that's of some kind of importance. And yet I would say that 50 years ago was one of the least impressive times of architecture that ever was. The 60s 100%. To the mid 60s to the early 80s were like, not great.
It's just, they reminded me a lot of some of the architecture that I saw that the Russians built in Cuba.
Very fascist, very concrete masonry unit, very. I'm so sorry that those were on there.
But we're on the register, so I'm okay with
That's
it.
Great.
So it'll be nice, the contrast, just so that people know. this thing, was lovingly made by, America's first architect. Same docket as, like these other awful, but
Oh my
whatever.
gosh.
I thought it was funny that you mentioned that. I was like,
Yeah.
huh.
Helping to create our hands-on future.
So where's your office?
So talk about going home. I'm 41 and currently living in my parents' house while I figure out where to live.
Been there.
Because I've been I wanted to build like a small house, urban infill small house that had like an office attached to it.
Right.
And the numbers are coming back astronomically large. For what is effectively 700 square feet. I can't even wrap my head around it.
Wow.
And so I'm trying to figure out that out, because what I wanted to do was like a small series of like 700 and 800 square foot homes, net zero energy, affordable, not for any income, just literally affordable, so that most people here could afford to live in them. And literally they're like $480,000. That's what they're coming in at. So clearly that's not happening. And so now I've been saying,
modular at all?
What's that?
Modular?
I've got to look into it further, because I think that that's probably going to be the only way.
Yeah.
And so I've just been trying to find a house, but the housing market is so crazy. Wow. I am like on my way to look at a house, and I'll get a call from my agent saying they just got 4 offers. Do you still want to look at it? And I'm like, no. And then I just turn back around. Wow. So I'm currently just I know something is planned for me. This is one of those things where I'm like, this is happening, and I know it's happening for a reason. So don't freak out. Just wait till you hear the call to what it is you're supposed to do.
Yeah, ride it out.
So that's what I'm doing. And but I'm excited because I've got some really cool projects. I'm working with, there's a gentleman here, his name's Lamar Middleton, and he runs this program called Hope for Us Housing. So he does hands-on training for building trades with the Syracuse City youths. And he and I have been trying to partner on something for a while. And there's this building on the south side of Syracuse that it's a historic building, needs a renovation. And we're working to I hope it's okay that I'm saying this on this.
If I need to cut it, I will. You can tell me.
Yeah, I guess I'll ask him. But he's gonna do the one of the commercial spaces associated with the building is a former auto repair shop, like a glass auto repair shop. So we're actually going to try and we're coming up with a curriculum to pass with the state education department to do automotive training for people in the neighborhood, so that they can, and not just the automotive training, but also business training, so that they can learn, and then eventually start their own automotive trade. So
fantastic.
Yeah.
Just make sure you're also as they're thinking about it, thinking about self-driving cars and all
electric vehicles. That's where
just sort of cementing that, because I've noticed that still sometimes there's folks that are working on job training that are not
forward thinking.
Right.
And it's
just
the
other super cool thing is that the Central Tech College, and there's on the south side core of the city, there's a huge push towards all kinds of technology research. And so I've read lately, and I'm sure you guys have too, that the electric car batteries, they're trying to find ways to process them into new something new at their end of life. And so I'm thinking that would be a great foray into what that school could be teaching too. So that, there's some sort of new thing that could be happening on the south side. So
that's exciting stuff.
That's so awesome.
Thanks for joining Subject to Change.
This is so great. It's actually, I do have to run now, but I so appreciate this time. What a lovely way to spend part of an afternoon.
Majora, you've been amazing. I'm so glad about your book. Congratulations.
Thank